Hello there, my name is Jackson Ross Terry, and today I'll be talking with you about work as a material processor within the United States warehouse industry. For starters, I'll be giving a basic review of what duties are associated with this job, safety requirements, secondly, salary, benefits, and lastly, what is required to be successful long term in the warehouse industry. Um, for starters, I am a material processor for a company called Mobis, which is the main distributor for Hyundai and Kia car parts out of Washington State. We get car parts from both South Korea, Mexico, and other places as well. Because of my competence and efficiency within this job, I feel qualified to give a basic description of job duties as I previously mentioned, and other related tasks as well. So to begin, as a material processor within the warehouse industry, you are responsible for the processing of those given items, whatever they may be, whether it be shipping those materials out or bringing those materials into the warehouse for handling into the local inventory of that exact part or whatever it is you're processing. Um, Hours can be longer than 40 hours a week, and per the United States Bureau of Labor Statistics, longer than 40 hours a week is typical, and work can be at day or night, depending on the demands of the given warehouse. Processors must receive safety training for the handling and of when using a warehouse, when using a forklift or other heavy equipment for safety purposes. And as a matter of fact, regarding safety, OSHA reports that in 2020 alone, there were 64,390 non-fatal injuries in the private warehouse industry within the United States. Um, on a lighter note, though, regarding the average salary and hiring requirements, as I'll talk about hiring requirements soon. Per the Bureau of Labor Statistics, once again, the average entrance salary for as a entry level material processor is in 2021 $18.45 per hour. However, translating that to a 40-hour work week, the annual for the annual salary being $38,380, which isn't bad. It's not bad for a starting salary. However, depending on overtime, that salary can be much higher. Due to many companies slash warehouses facing employee shortages, specifically material processors. Many of these warehouse companies are having to outsource from contracting agencies in which workers start out as temps, and they can be hired on to the company's payroll if they show that they have a basic work ethic and they have potential long term. So that's what is required to go from being a temp to being an actual employee for that given warehouse. However, as with any employment, there's always a turnover rate. And as of 2019 alone, thanks to WorkStep, they report that the turnover rate within the United States warehouse industry was a whopping 60%. 60% in 2019, one of the highest in any job within the United States. But lastly, though, for long-term success in this job, what is realistically required, since the work is repetitive in nature. Someone who has no problem doing repetitive tasks and working long hours. As I said, though, the overtime is there for those who like to work, and because of that, the nature of how much overtime can be associated with the job, it can be very lucrative for a job that only requires a high school diploma. So for those who have a basic work ethic, can accept doing repetitive tasks as their job, this job realistically will be right for you. Those who have faith in God, and it will allow them to accept this job for what it is, and it will help them in having long-term success. Only someone who can accept the daily repetitive nature of the job will be successful long-term. And I have some statistics to elaborate on. I apologize for the visibility. I have limited technology. So, for starters, as I mentioned already, 64,390 non-fatal injuries within the United States within the warehouse industry in 2020 alone. For for J report, 60% was in 2019 alone as a turnover rate. So it can be, the statistics are there that can be a rough job in terms of having long-term potential in terms of the average person, which is why there's a hiring on requirement to have trust for the company to want to have them on their payroll, which, because of that turnover rate, is why they would rather have temps anyway, and then see who they want to hire on to their payroll. Non-fatal injuries, hovering 2016 about 60,000, 2017 a little bit higher, above 60,000, but generally around the 60,000 injuries per year within the warehouse industry. So thank you for letting me speak on this employment. It's not a bad job at all, as I said. You just need to be able to accept the work for what it is. My name's Jackson Ross Terry. Thank you for your time.